Hi guys, this is Max with another one of my award-winning videos. And today we're going to take a look at this little fella here, at US Senator Bernie Sanders representing my home state of Vermont. Now, most of the people who continuously watch this channel, or actually all of you, would probably know that my views don't really align with Bernie Sanders all that much. Now, lots of people say that I probably should be a Bernie Democrat because I live in Vermont and also I'm a boarding student, but, well, that's just not the case. I made a video where I explained my political beliefs, and you can always go check that out. But today I want to nonetheless talk about where I do agree with Bernie Sanders and issues where we do have a shared policy. And one of them, first of all, would be prescription drug prices. Now, there have been lots of Republicans, actually all of them, and one Democratic senator in particular, who have opposed lowering prescription drug prices. And even though I usually don't want the government to play too much of a role in the economy, you would have to understand how bad the prescription drug situation really is. There are people who have to rationate insulin because they can't afford it anymore. These people have to die at the age of 30. And any good Christian, any good human being with a conscience would say that it is immoral and unjust to have people die if they don't have to. Sick people should be cared for. Other issues where I might agree with him are definitely attitude towards the elites and the establishment, both political and financial elites. I already said that, and I'll say it again. Don't tread on me. It does apply to big government and the restrictions that it puts on commerce, but it also applies to big corporations, to corporations that hold almost monopolistic power and that very oftentimes when they commit a crime don't even get punished for it. There was a very recent scandal about this, and I think Bernie made a video about this on his YouTube channel. Here, we got it. The Sackler family has faced 0 criminal charges. There are so many rich people here in this nation who just basically get to buy themselves a way out of prison and who do not face any accountability based on the crimes they've committed. And they're trying to trample on you, the small individual, when they're committing those crimes, and don't even feel sorry for it. Also, and this is perhaps the most important thing, politicians, first and foremost, care about themselves. Take a look at Mitch McConnell. He only cares about his donors, or mostly. I do think Mitch actually believes into the conservative causes that he's fighting for, but to a very large degree, he's actually just a puppet of the corporate elites. And these people, they're trying to control America, and you're not allowed to let that happen. Term limits would be a reasonable solution. I don't really think that's a part of Bernie's platform, but it should be said. A few more things where I'd agree with Bernie are you could say immigration, because I'm not really of the opinion that immigrants are inherently bad for America. I think that more immigration does improve the GDP. It does make the country more prosperous, but you need to control it. And if you have millions of people coming in illegally, that is absolutely not to the good of the nation. And also, yeah, I do believe Bernie is a good guy in a sense because he's trying to fight against the political elites. He's trying to fight against the Mitch McConnells of this world. He's trying to fight against the people who are just attempting to preserve the status quo. And whenever he does something, he does it because he wants to help ordinary Americans. He is not bought and owned by corporate America. He does not take big donations from corporate giants. He only takes small dollar individual donations. And that is really admirable from my viewpoint. And, of course, there are the many small things that he's remarkable for. He was in favor of gay marriage long before it was cool, and he is somebody And the only other politician I could think of like that is maybe Ron Paul, who could really never be accused of double standards. He always stands his ground. He never panders to anybody, never tries to take the more moderates in slope. Maybe he did a bit with the reinstatement of the SALT deduction tax. That was basically a tax cut for blue state billionaires, which was repealed by Trump. Now the Democrats are trying to bring it back. Which brings me to my next point, the infrastructure bill. Joe Biden says that overall the rich would pay more under his proposal, but the top 1% would actually pay about the same in case the SALT deduction was reinstated, which again was a tax cut for blue state billionaires. But in general, I would say Bernie Sanders is a principled man. He never, ever supports a policy or opposes a policy that he doesn't either fully support or fully oppose. And even though I have many disagreements with him, even though I think that his infrastructure bill would be pretty damaging to the US economy and the country in general if it was passed right now, it would really slow our economic growth. That is something we need to address on a larger scale when the economy is further up. And of course, the suggested amounts of spending are absolutely ginormous. You have to find a compromise there. But I think he's a good guy. And even though on a lot of issues, really, I could make way longer videos on things that I don't agree with him, I do think he's a decent man. And I'm proud that he's my senator, even though my own political views are different. That's what I wanted to say. Max out. See you next time.